Welcome to Start Lines and Swag Bags. The airing of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended to replace advice from professional medical or training staff. Thank you for listening and your support of the Flying Pig Project.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of the second season of Start Lines and Swag Bags. This episode, this was a great way to jump off our new season. But it's interesting because as I've been recording and re-recording this introduction, it occurs to me that something that was said in that episode applies directly to this moment. Now, Rupesh brought on his two friends, Larry and Alli, from their boot camp, and we had a great discussion. And they got to try the new hot takes wheel, which we'll see definitely in future episodes. But at one point, Larry, who I've never met before, broke the cardinal rule. He asked the host a question. He asked why I'm not as active anymore temporarily. And I did answer him, and we talked about how restarts are harder than starts. And I will tell you that I have now done this introduction many times, which I understand is not new, but I was getting I was improving. But I realized that, all the jokes I've made in the past about my neighbors thinking I'm crazy because I'm using all this language because I'm starting and restarting. And y'all, I have new neighbors, right? Because I moved. So now I'm thinking that they're listening, and I'm going to have a knock on my door really soon. But anyway, I really do hope you enjoy this episode. I think it's a great way to kick off season 2. Season 2 is going to be all about exploring other things, like exploring the topic of restarting is harder than starting. Exploring that topic of we don't look like runners or feel like runners, or what does a runner look like and what should a runner feel like? We're going to jump into nutrition. I can't wait for those episodes. Those are going to be spot on. Now, if you are interested, you have any ideas you'd like to jump in, give me a DM. Reach out to me. Instagram, Facebook, the Flying Pig Project website, any of them. Embrace that crazy to open a world of possibilities and do what you'd like to do and come on my show and do it. That offer is always there. All right, friends, I'm not going to talk any further. Here are Rupesh, Larry, and Alli. Enjoy. All right, everybody, welcome back to Start Lines and Swag Bags. We are in season 2, and we are mixing it up this season. We're going to throw a whole bunch of new stuff at you. And tonight, I've created something. Last season, Marty wanted to do something fun and different, and he introduced the idea of hot takes to me. Now, I had no idea what a hot take was. Apparently, the fact that I didn't know what it was is a hot take in itself. But I created a wheel of hot takes. So at the end of the episode, the guests that are on the show will have the opportunity to watch my expression as the hot take comes up because they can't see the wheel. That just adds to the fun. But today, whenever you're listening, if you remember Rupesh, the regular runner, he decided to bring some friends with him tonight. So I'm going to start off by reintroducing our regular runner, Rupesh. Rupesh, thank you for coming on back.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Who'd you bring?
I brought Alli and Larry, and if you listened to the episode, and if you didn't, please listen to it. I've known them as part of Bravo Boot Camp, and we ran the Chicago Marathon together. And since you asked me to bring some people on, they were the first that came to mind, just because we had a running experience for quite a long time together, and we had a great time. And both of them were the reason that I finished. I know that they kind of dragged me through the end there. So that's why it's the three of us today, and we're all part of Bravo Boot Camp, which is a boot camp based in Hoffman Estates out of what is it called now? The club at Prairie Stone.
Where again?
The club at Prairie Stone. It's Hoffman Estates Park District.
Okay. I'm going to very quickly point out if anybody was paying attention in a prior episode or something, I talked about someone who was trying to be the most popular podcast of season 1. Now, the person may or may not just now have asked you to listen to his episode because he is sitting in a 3-way tie for second. All right. Anyway, let's kick it off. Larry, introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself.
So I'm Larry Flory, and I started this. It's about running. So I started this running at 54 about 12 years ago, and joined boot camp before I started the running. They're the ones who got me to get out there and give this a try, and been having an absolutely wonderful time and a great journey and a life-altering experience being with them in boot camp and falling in love with these friends and running marathons. And it's actually been life-changing and very rewarding.
All right. We will come back to you in a moment. Alli.
Hi, guys. My name's Alli, and I started running in 2014. My very first race, my friend convinced me to run a half marathon with her. So I did, and it went well. And then the next year, I did my first marathon, and then just kind of snowballed from there. I just kept doing them. They were fun. I'm very much like Rupesh as a regular runner, not very fast, but I just enjoy it. And then in 2018, I moved over to the Hoffman area, and I had to get a new gym to go to. And so I joined the club, and about a week into being there, I was recruited by the boot camp to join them. And yeah, it's been amazing ever since. We are truly a family, and highs and lows and races and everything in between. So it's been a really awesome group. And yeah, just like Larry said, life changing, and they're awesome.
So who was the first of the three of you at Bravo Boot Camp?
I don't know. Who?
Not me.
When did you join, Rupesh?
I might have joined a little before you, but I've kind of been sporadic off and on. And I think when you joined, you've kind of been nonstop. So I might have joined around when you did or a little before.
2012, I think.
It's around the same time.
Yeah.
That's longer than I thought someone was going to say. 12 years at the same place. That is absolutely a family at this point.
There's been people that have been part of it for, I believe it started over 20 years ago. And we just had a holiday party. And I believe there's a couple original members who are still there. And it's over 20 years.
So, okay, what kind of activities? Because, yeah, this is a show about running, but there are other elements of running and other elements of fitness that, at some point I'm going to have to talk about, not participate in, but at least talk about. What is Bravo Boot Camp?
It's a workout group. We all meet up at 5:30 in the morning. So rise and shine. Not really shine. The sun's not usually out yet. And we do everything. Push-ups, sit-ups, plank, burpees, mountain climbers, running. I mean, you name it, Jim has come up with a workout for us.
So is it similar to a CrossFit box?
No, we don't usually do weights as much. It's all body weight and more like traditional boot camp style workouts.
All right. Let's go around. Larry, what's your favorite type of workout at Bravo Boot Camp?
Getting together with my friends after on a great event, maybe on a Friday or Saturday, and perhaps drinking beer. We've actually done a long run and stopped by the house. And can I talk about this type of stuff? And actually did a great Scotch tasting. So little bits of Scotch. So yeah, so the boot camp to me is much more than just the exercise that you mentioned. What's my favorite part, right? Of course, it's people getting you through, a long run of 20 miles and you feel like a puddle. But there's so much more to it other than that. And that is just the great memories of stopping having a beer, having just some fellowship with people. And not everybody drinks, right? But just having a great fellowship and just being around the folks. So great encouragement. So that's my favorite part is just being around the people.
All right, I'm going to clarify that. I feel like the favorite part was the drinking post for you. And I will tell you that I belong to two very large groups, and they will agree with you at all times. But I think what you point out, and I know I feel this way, running kind of sucks. I'm going to say that. Working out kind of sucks. It's not fun. But do you remember the workout, or do you remember the time you had with the people after the workout or during the workout?
I remember both. I think it's just absolutely the workouts are fun, and I think working out, right? There's stages in working out, right? Getting out of bed or thinking you have to get out of bed the night before, to go work out in the morning sucks. Putting my feet on the floor as I get out of bed sucks. Getting in my car to go with the friends sucks. And that first mile on a real cold day when it's 25 degrees or 20 degrees, and we've run, and I think Alli has run with us, and we finished up runs and her eyes were just frozen over, right? I mean, not completely frozen over, but her eyebrows, she looked like she was very beautiful, a cartoon character. So, I mean, all of that stinks, but once you get a mile in or 2 miles in, and you can get those endorphins running, and it becomes a therapy session for you and your friends because you can talk about whatever you want, and you could breathe deep, and you can really dig inside and see what you can accomplish. That's what is just wonderful, and the celebration afterward is spectacular.
Well, the celebration afterwards is always earned. I like to look at that, and I like participating in other people's celebrations to celebrate them and, to just be a support. Alli, what's your favorite part?
I also enjoy the after workout. We do have a little coffee time after, but if I have to pick an actual working out part, Fridays we have been doing some more weights and different switching it up a bit, and those have been really fun. Trying something new, partnering up and pushing each other, and we're a competitive group, so it's a good time.
I would expect no less, first of all. Of course it's competitive. Now, whose name did you say about who writes the workouts?
Jim,
okay. So it's a different workout every day, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's been a different workout every day ever since I started.
Do you know the workout prior to going?
Nope.
Is it the same? So does it run at multiple times of the day?
No, just one day. One time a day.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
5:30, Sunday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, so the 5:30 person can't tell the 7:30 person what's going on, so the 7:30 person can decide that they don't want to go.
Nope.
All right.
You show up and it's a surprise.
But I'm assuming that, you can modify if you need.
Yes.
Yes, or do your own thing, which would be me napping in the corner. All right. Rupesh, what's your favorite part about it?
I'll qualify a little bit and say that I haven't been as regular for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So my favorite by default would be the weekend runs, the long runs that we do. And I think, and when I've been to the workouts, I would say my favorite part, I feel like the workouts always suck. It's kind of just looking over to the person next to me and kind of mouthing like, are we done? Like, and it's just keeps going. And on the weekends when you're running 6 or 8, 10 miles, just catching up and talking. And I always joke with Larry that I'm always winded and I just listen to him talking about life and his kids, and I'm just along for the ride.
I'll shut up.
No, then we'll have a problem.
I'm laughing at that because in every group and at every ability, there seems to be two people: the person who cannot breathe and the person who cannot stop talking. Now, we're both doing the same thing at the exact same time. It's not like a hard effort, but I can't breathe and they can't stop talking. And I appreciate that, though. See, Larry, I would appreciate that. I question Rupesh's, comment, because I would appreciate the constant chatter.
I didn't say I didn't appreciate it. I was very grateful for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the run go by
I'll
faster.
talk to my therapist about this when we're done.
The therapist is the outdoors and your workout tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That's your therapist, which is probably why I'm losing my mind, because I have stepped back from activities temporarily.
So why have you stepped back?
Okay, so rule on the show: we don't ask the host questions that she was not expecting. No, but Larry, I'm going to tell you. So, very brief history about me. I was running for about 12 years. In 2020, when COVID hit, I got into CrossFit. I got very, very fit, very, very fast, faster. Let's not get crazy with that. And life happens. And then this past May, I actually broke my foot. And so I just don't feel like coming back yet. And I've been able to put my energy into talking to you wonderful people and learning your stories. And unfortunately, no story has been that moving to me that I've decided to get up and use the treadmill you can't see on the floor behind me. But I at least moved it to the new place. So that's progress.
It's harder to restart, I think, than it is to start the first time.
That is 100% true. I don't think there's anybody who would dispute that fact. I don't think there's anybody. All right. So I want to talk about two things. So it's interesting we're talking about a boot camp, and you do run, but there has been conversation on the show many times about strength training when it comes to runners. And, we can all have our own opinions, and that's why this is not an advice show. But Alli, what do you think, the strength workout, how does that affect you as an overall athlete, runner?
I think it definitely helps just work different muscles. When you're constantly just running the same way, you're only using and strengthening those muscles. But I could tell a difference from marathons I've done prior to boot camp and then after. My recovery was way faster. We were out running, I want to say 2 days after we did the marathon, and I felt fine. And it was because of all our different workouts. We strengthened all the muscles from different positions and different ways. And so I think that definitely helped, not just for the running itself, but recovering after.
All right. Rupesh, same question.
I think definitely that working out, strength training specifically helps. I think I might be stealing Larry's line, who stole it from somebody else. I think one of our friends would say that if you do boot camp and run once a week, you can easily do a half marathon or even a marathon. Did I get that right?
I think
if you do boot camp, you can run a half marathon.
It might not be pretty, but you could run a half marathon.
So the not pretty part, and we can't go into that because there happens to be a hot take on the wheel about those non-pretty 5.5, 6 hour efforts. There's some hot takes out there about that. All right, Larry, but how do you feel like that camaraderie and the other activities affected you as a runner going into the marathon, all of that?
I'd probably say the exercising is, in just one little tidbit about the exercising. And again, about my friends and the friendship. We had a fellow boot camper who was suffering from and getting through his cancer, right? And he, right, so he's working hard, and we decided to do something in his honor, and we were doing a collection, and we got together and we decided, some of us, decided that we would do 700, I think it was 750 push-ups. And we had a set amount of time to get that done. And the group that we did it with, there's 3 or 4 of us that ended up doing it out of the boot camp of probably 20 plus. And we raised money. And I will tell you that, to say that I did is, I was probably 65 then, that I did 750 regular push-ups. And you look around at your friends and you look around at everything that's going on. And if that's not motivational and that doesn't kind of carry you through, because I never thought in a million years I could do it. But when you do that and then you get out and you run with somebody, it just puts you in the right frame of mind that although your body is kind of like, I don't feel like I want to do this, your mind shifts into a gear and you say, you know what, here we go. We'll get this done. And with my friends around, it's all possible.
Let's talk about the marathon. So, Rupesh, that was your first? No.
First.
That was your first. Alli, that was your...
That was number 6.
6. And Larry, that was your...
Number 4.
4. All right. So, who signed up first?
I think we might have all been around the same time.
Was it one of those, if I do it, you do it?
No. Boot camp mentality is kind of always like that. We always sign up at the same time for everything.
Yeah. I think that's called the hive mentality.
Yeah. And we were doing charity running too, so.
Oh, okay. So wait, that year, were you all for charity or did anybody have...
We were all charity.
You all ran charity?
Charity.
Same charity?
No.
Larry, which was your charity?
Best Buddies.
Yeah. All right, Alli?
I am with Team Salute. They raise money for military members and their families.
And Rupesh?
I ran for Advocate Healthcare.
Wow, 3 completely different charities. How many people from your boot camp were in that marathon? Was it just the 3 of you or were there others?
There were 3 others.
3 others?
3 or 2?
We had 3.
Okay.
But the 3 of you ran the whole thing together.
Yes.
All right. Now I'm gonna have to call somebody out here because on Rupesh's episode, there was something about an early on bathroom break. Wasn't there?
I don't remember that.
We were running with somebody and we stopped in mile 1 for the bathroom.
Oh, so that wasn't Alli or Larry. That was somebody completely different. Oh, I thought he threw one of you guys under the bus. Oh.
I just don't remember who it was, but we stopped in mile 1, right? It's like right at the start.
I don't think so.
I thought we did. Maybe I had brain.
I think what's amazing is Rupesh was delirious at mile 1, and now it's coming to fruition. I had no idea that you had lost reality at mile 1, Rupesh. I guess that passed me by.
Probably.
Maybe I shouldn't say that, but you can edit that out.
Start line.
Oh, no, I got to leave that in there. Okay, so apparently that didn't happen. That was a mirage.
It was the 4th person with us.
We had an imaginary runner.
They didn't finish.
It's imaginary runner.
My imaginary friend.
I currently feel like there's a joke like sitting right here, and I'm too brain dead to get it. It's right there, like in front of me, and I'm going to remember it, and it's going to be in the introduction that I re-record. All right, Larry, have you done a marathon since that marathon?
No. Then I think COVID hit and some things trapped. So I am going to give it. I'm going to run for Team Salute. I've got some props there. I knew somebody who could get me in. It wasn't easy, but she was able to pull some strings. So I'm going to run for Team Salute this year. And if everything holds up, I'll have another one under my belt.
Alli, what about you?
I ran last year.
Are you running this year?
No, can break.
Oh, because Larry's going to take your place.
I'll cheer him on.
Rupesh, I don't remember what you said. I'm sorry. I don't remember.
About this year?
Yeah.
So Larry texted me, I think immediately when he signed up. He's like, come on, do it. And I'll go back to what he said about starting is easy, but restarting is harder. And I think it goes to the fact of I know the work that it takes, and it's just a lot of work. And so I said no. There might be still a last minute chance, but as of now, I am a no. Unfortunately, a no.
You could pay me $1 million and I'd still say no.
Would you for $1 million?
Okay, for $1 million, I would do it. I mean, who we
Do it.
There used to be a sports show in Chicago, and their favorite line was "Who you crappin'?" I can't remember the name of the show, and that's my answer to that. Who you crappin'? Of course, I'm doing it for $1 million. Rupesh, I know what I was going to ask you. Are you training for a half marathon?
Yes, I am. I think Larry's doing it as well.
Which half marathon?
Curie?
You're doing March Madness?
March Madness, yes.
Hey, Larry, you can meet me at March Madness because I'll be there.
Perfect. I will see you there. You'll be running with us?
No, I will be holding a very large flag for our racing team. I'm going just to watch.
Very nice.
I'm going to
watching too.
I didn't know you were doing that one.
I didn't publicize it just in case I back out.
I got 2 words for you. Too late.
I guess if people listen to this and I don't do it, it'll look bad.
Did any of you bring a hot take?
No, sorry.
Okay. No. So I do have the hot take wheel, which you don't see. And I'm going to spin the hot take wheel, and we're going to see what happens. Are you all game for that? All right. I don't know if you can hear that sound in the background. Oh, you can? All right. All right. So this hot take. Oh, okay. All right. So this is one of my hot takes. When you cross the finish line, put your hands in the air. The timing mats are there for a reason. Stop turning off your watch. Thoughts?
Agreed.
I agree.
All my pictures, my hands are in the air. I stop my watch after that, and I would say my watch time and the official time are only a few seconds off. You need a good picture.
Rupesh, well, of course. Every picture is,
I have to stand up for the people that stop their watches because if you're running slow, you want to make sure that you're capturing every second possible and not putting extra seconds on the clock.
Buddy, there's a timing mat there. There's a mat. There's not a guy with a stopwatch on the side of the road. There's a mat.
Yeah, but you also have Strava and all these other things where you post time, so you want to.
If you don't record it on your watch, it didn't happen.
That's actually a hot take in itself. All right. You all were not supposed to agree with me on that one. All right. There's no way that's going to happen again. All right.
And I disagreed.
They agreed though. Oh, yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. So, I did go down the Reddit rabbit hole, and here's the hot take. It is fine to wear a running vest, even for a 5K.
I mean, if you really need it.
What is a running vest?
So I will tell you that somebody brought up the fact that they were like at a 5K and someone looked like they were going to go do a ruck run in Iraq or something. They had the vest on, they had the water bottles, they had the fuel, and they were doing a 5K. And so the hot take is it's fine to wear a running vest even for a 5K.
I don't think it's necessary, but to each their own.
Live and let live.
I would say that I don't think it's okay, honestly. Unless you have a medical issue or something. But I remember one of the first 5Ks I ran, I saw somebody who I knew did not have a medical issue, and she had like 8 water bottles like attached to her waist, and it was a 5K that had at least 2 water stations on the course, and she was probably running a 12 to 14 minute pace. So I don't think she needed that belt, and I'm going to stand on that hill and say that that was not necessary.
Okay, so 2 things. Actually, 1 thing. Just because I like to have fun every so often on this show, I'm going to be honest. As a woman, having a running vest on actually is not a bad idea because it just doubles the support. I got to be honest. So yeah, there are pictures of me running a 5K with a running vest on. I won't deny that.
So you need extra support? Is that what we're saying?
Exactly. Every kind of support. Like
I'm not going to pursue
every
questioning.
Every kind. Every
Ellie's
kind.
very good. She just gave me the.
All right. Okay. You ready? Nike shoes are overrated.
Agree. I don't like them. They're too narrow. They're too expensive.
Yeah, 2 boxes. A toe box is too small.
Yeah.
Okay. Rupesh.
I have not used Nike shoes in forever. I think maybe it's a common thing when people start running because it's Nike, they use them. But I would agree with Alli and Larry that they're not the most comfortable shoes. Maybe actually even the elite runners I know don't use them. So I think I don't know if you find anyone who would disagree with that. You know,
what elite runners do you know that don't wear Nikes?
a lot of them I know were wearing Brooks, I believe.
Do we know the same people? Okay.
I think the guy who won the championship is that Nike's? He's
probably. I would almost.
I think they are.
Almost.
Rupesh doesn't know him though, so.
Okay.
I've worn Nikes before though.
All right, this one.
Sale.
Well, this one is running. What did I say? Running in the freezing cold on ice and snow is far better than a hot, humid day. Now, I will tell you, I'll take this one first. The past 2 winters, it was -20. I don't care. I was out there in my, nano spikes and my smart wool, and I didn't go inside to run at all. I love running in the freezing cold. I think it's amazing. But you're all looking at me like, ain't no way.
I am Goldilocks. I need it good. I don't like it too hot. I don't like it too cold. They know my rule for outdoor running is it has to be a feels like of 20 degrees. If it's colder than that, I'm not joining the run.
Ellie, how cold was it when you ran and your eyes?
My eyelashes froze.
Your eyelashes froze. We had another friend there whose mask that he was wearing was completely frozen over.
I'm done.
Yeah, so we've run in some pretty cold.
We have.
Yeah, I'd take cold over hot.
That's all.
Without the wind. I don't like wind. Cold and wind isn't good.
I'll take the cold. Rupesh. Hey, he first of all, he gets on a treadmill so much. I don't even think this is a fair question to ask him.
I do run outside. I would say that for me, cold is not good. So if I had to pick an extreme, I would pick probably heat. I hate both extremes, but putting cold and snow and the possibility of someone clumsy like me slipping and falling, then that could happen. So I would take warm weather.
I don't know, Larry. I'm outside. I am 100% outside in the cold. I don't know about these other people. They're just.
I ran on the treadmill this morning.
I did not. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. I came up. Oh, hold on. Actually, I should have asked this first. Larry and Alli, are either of you on Strava?
No.
Okay. So this is my hot take. The more detailed the Strava post, the more you want people to not pay attention to the numbers of your run.
I've never posted anything other than kind of start, stop, that's it. Never commented ever. I wouldn't know how to do that. In fact, I have the free version of Strava, so I don't even know if I could comment on it.
I do too. But I have some friends who it's a paragraph. It's a story. It's like a chapter in their novel about what happened on their run, and I think it's to distract me from maybe they weren't on their pace that day. It wasn't a good run.
Yeah, perhaps.
Rupesh is going to disagree with me.
I think the paragraph thing is probably more the personality of the person, because I've seen the people that are running fast write all these paragraphs about it was a cold and windy day and I ran my 6-minute pace.
They just want to make you feel like they did better.
Yeah, I don't know about the people that are running slower actually commenting about.
All right, first.
I think the people that write more tend to be the ones that run faster. Fast people are, 2-mile warm up at this pace and 4-mile cool down. The slow people are just, I'm running slow. There's no warm up, cool down. It's just, this is a pace.
All right. It's interesting you should say that, because hot take, when you're doing a speed workout, I don't need to see every stride, every 400, your warm up and your cool down, all as separate activities. Merge them into one.
I think, Rupesh, don't you do that? Don't you post your cool down and your run and then your walk afterward? I think those are separate posts, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be.
We have a speed workout on Wednesdays in the summer, so like sometimes I'll run before that and I will post that separate. But then in the speed workout, there's a separate warm up, then there's the run, and then there's a cool down. I just put it all as one.
And I thank you for that, because in the summertime when I check my Strava and y'all were at the track, you did 6 strides. Excellent. They're separate posts for all 6.
And then you can see the little squiggly back and forth on the map, which the whole thing takes about 4 minutes. And then you've got the one, and then you've got the cool down.
You should join just to follow this because it cracks me up sometimes. It is very, very entertaining.
You're going to have a lot of people coming up to you after this episode and explaining to you why they have to do this.
I mean, I know why they feel a need, but it's because they need to, for everybody to see, what they did. All right. So this is going to be the last hot take, and this one is kind of controversial. This is a hot take. It's not the shoes.
Agreed.
Why do you agree?
As long as they're comfortable, just go and do it. Right? I don't know that shoes make a difference, at least for me, at all. Right? As long as they don't cause blisters or they're not just uncomfortable, it's not going to make a difference. I've ran in Nikes, Adidas, Brooks. I have a shoe fetish, but I run on anything. Yeah, so
everybody's allowed to have a fetish. We can all have fetishes, and we all need support. Alli.
Yeah, agree.
It's not the shoes.
No. I think unless you're at like the elite level where every little detail about what you wear matters, as far as me, I mean, it's not going to make a difference if I wear those fancy $300 shoes or a pair from Kohl's. As long as they fit well and they help my arches and no blisters, go for it.
Ooh, that Kohl's one, that kind of hurt a little bit.
You can get some good ones there.
Here's the host backpedaling. Okay. Anyway, Rupesh, it's not the shoes.
It depends on the shoe, I think. Like, I have gotten injured a few times, and I absolutely blame the shoes, right or wrong. I am a Brooks guy. I've run in Brooks, but there were a couple of times, I'm not going to say the brands for brand shaming, but I don't know why. I think one time I got talked into a pair of shoes and I got injured in them, and I kind of want to blame the shoe.
You can, first of all, you can brand shame. I have bashed Nike multiple times for multiple things. You can call out a brand.
I think they were Ons, which are very popular. And
did I sell them to you?
I don't remember who. I think I might get killed for this. I got them at the store, but I've also gotten Brooks at the store. So, I mean, like I said, it was a one-time experience, but I do feel that certain shoes are better than others for people. So obviously it's the person that really it's all about, but sometimes it can be the shoe.
I'm just pointing out that, Larry said, no, it's not the shoes. Alli said, no, it's not the shoes. Rupesh is literally like building a case for why it's the shoe. Now,
his marathon experience, though, is deep and vast, so you won't have to take his word for it.
Zinger.
Well, Zinger?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm going to say yes. If you're wearing ill-fitting shoes, if you are a bad overpronator like myself, and you are wearing shoes that don't have any support, that is bad. So there can be badly fitted shoes. But beyond that, when I would put a pair of shoes on somebody and they look at me and go, will these make me fast? If they do, please come back and tell me. It's not the shoes. All right. So for the last question of the night, I would like you all to create like a mock in the moment commercial for your boot camp. So I'm your customer and you've got like 45 seconds to convince me that I should join the boot camp, which I'm not going to do because I moved farther away. So I'm really not going to do it now. But if there was a chance, Alli, sell me.
First, okay. Are you ready to have the best hour of your life bright and early in the morning with the best people ever? Join boot camp. You don't have to think about the workout. You don't have to plan the workout. You just show up and do it. Everyone else has to do it. We all complain together. You do have fun time. Join.
That's not bad. Not bad. Rupesh.
If you're looking for a great group of people and good workouts and all different skill levels where you don't have to be afraid of coming in and you'll just come in and you'll feel part of the family, everyone will make you feel welcome. Jim is a great leader and he's always checking in on everyone and making sure that they're doing okay. And we have a lot of people in the group that really make you feel like a family. And I think you'd love it if you came.
All right. Larry, you ready?
Sure.
All right, let's
hear it.
You want
to join a great group of friends where nobody ever gets left behind, and we always come back, and people always come back for you as you run and get you. If you want to go far and you want to go with a group, it's absolutely the way to go. If you want to join a group where you can start, in my personal experience, start in November and finish your first marathon in under or within a year after that, they'll get you through it.
Larry and Alli, thank you so much for agreeing to come on. Have you watched Rupesh's episode?
Yes.
Many times.
Or listened?
Many times.
It was great.
Sure. That's how you're. Oh, okay.
Larry, you're not supposed to say many times.
Could I talk about the money?
Not right now.
For the record, it is given to me as unique listeners. So that means 40 different people just on Spotify listened to your episode. That's all I'm saying. But really, thank you so much for agreeing to hop on. You didn't know what the format was going to be. You didn't know who I was. So thank you for coming on the ride. Thank you for trying out the hot take wheel. I will tell you the one that did not come up. I'll tell you what it was. There was actually the hot take that if you do a marathon in 5.5 hours, that is not an accomplishment.
Ooh.
Bullshit.
Somebody put that online. The accomplishment, this person said, I love ending an episode this way. The person said the accomplishment is not the distance because anybody can go do the distance. The accomplishment is in the time.
But what was their adequate time?
I don't know. It was on Reddit, you know. That's probably the one that like I like got stopped in my tracks. I was like, somebody really put that out there? All right. So thank you very much for all three of you for being on the premiere episode of season 2. You never know. Like Rupesh, you may be back.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.